IVM.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Hello. Live from Alibag, where I've been sent banished because they closed Oval Maidan. How dare you close Oval Maidan? I have nowhere to Gumao Firao, so I've Gumao Firao back here to my wife's friend's house. And all is beautiful. Soon the sun will come out and we will all die. But before that, I want to just quickly say a lot of criticism of the test match yesterday. People thinking, 2 दिन में खत्म हो गया, test match का क्या future है? Well, I want to understand. Before people are saying that test match is no future because nothing used to happen in 90s and early 2000s and too many draws were happening and boring, dreary, no crowds, etc. Now after T20 culture has come in, we finish a test match in under 2 days and they're saying, oh, too short, what a waste of time, it's not a test match. Boss, it's a test match. This is test match cricket at its best where batsmen can't cope with spin and the pink ball or whatever the hell it is. I enjoyed it. I salute the test match. I hope all test matches end early. No problem with me. It's a bit like marriage. Earlier the marriage ends sometimes better for both parties. So I'm okay with it. England, learn how to bat quickly. You've got about 6 days now.
Namaskar, dear friends. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi. Life, as you know, is a journey. And you and I, travelers, how can we celebrate this travel? I have a podcast for you. Begin the journey. I share stories and moments from my life. Do tune in every Monday and Thursday to listen to my podcast on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from. Cheers.
In the meantime, let's learn how to finance or rather regulate our finances. Great pleasure to invite on our show. And I'm saying this because he insisted कि थोड़ा तारीफ करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो he won't come on. The one and only Pranjal Kamra, who is a comedian who took on the government. No, that's Kunal Kamra. He is actually very pro-government. बोल तो सही.
So a lot of people still ask me if I am a cousin or in any way related to Kunal Kamra. And yeah, I mean, the only thing pro-government I have said is that I'm not a cousin of Kunal Kamra. Nothing else.
Oh, that's a pretty big statement, yaar. That's a huge statement in many ways. Okay, so Pranjal has cleared the air there. But let's quickly tell you, for those who know, a lot of people know who he is, of course, because 2 million subscribers. That's 2 million more than we have. 2 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. और ये YouTube channel जो है, I think it's a Hindi channel. It's a finance channel.
Right.
And probably a lot of pressure. We were talking about cricket in the beginning. और मेरे ख्याल से this is a lot of pressure for anyone because in year 2020 to 21, in fact, it's not over yet. We have seen such an amazing turnaround where even the guys who help you invest, wealth creators, जो कहते हैं, and analysts, they don't really know. I mean, who knows? Because we don't know what the outcome of this epidemic is. We don't know when business as usual will happen, etc., etc., etc. So, I want to just introduce you a little bit more. But the first question I'm definitely going to ask you, sir, is there anyone who can give you 100% good advice on finance in a year like this?
Right. So absolutely, there's no one who can give you 100% right advice. Not in this year, but any year. If any advisor is even 60% right.
Pranjal, ये कैसे बात करते हैं? को बंद करना पड़ेगा इसके. In normal year, you have to help us, na? Make the wealth flow and wealth grow. But in this year, it is a bit of guessing, right?
Right. So, we have this saying internally that if for a beginner, you don't know which mutual fund to buy or which insurance to buy, just go to your banker and whichever fund he suggests, buy anything except that. Because, all he knows that it's good for him. He does not know what's good for you. He knows what's good for him. So in investing, if someone is 60% right, he's doing a bloody good job. I mean, you can't get better than that. But yeah, I mean, in a year like this where everyone sees everything, there is a huge crash in the market last year in May, April, then there is a sudden bull run. I'm sure even all experts were caught off guard and no one was able to predict either of those two events. So yeah, that is why the best thing to do is probably stay invested all the time. Don't worry about what the market is doing. Just invest and go to sleep. So that's the only thing that.
No. आपका कहने का मतलब है, this has to be very clear, sir. Transparent conversation है यहाँ पे. You're saying कि you invest, but so you're investing and holding back. So you're investing in long term only. You're not even thinking of any returns in the next. Am I right?
That's right. Because for me, investing is not share market. Investing is basically getting a stake in a business. So when we get a stake in a business, not through the stock market, but through private equity or we invest money in a friend's business, we stay patient with that. It's only when we buy stake in a business through stock market do we get impatient. There are other ways to buy stake in a business as well, and then we are very patient. So, think of it as buying stake in a business.
But Pranjal, normally when you do this financial portfolio culture or whatever you want to call it, they always tell you to divide it percentage-wise, na? You do 50% which is long play, maybe 20% which is medium play, and 5-10 whatever you have that much percentage for the. So you're saying don't do stocks at all?
No. So basically anything. So any money that you need in the short term, say less than, and for me short term is less than 3 years. That money shouldn't be exposed to the stock market. That money is better kept in a liquid fund or in fixed deposit. Any money that you don't need in the next 5 years or more is the money that should go towards the stock market. Because, think of this way. I mean, we can't predict what Tata Motors will do in a year, in a couple of years. We know Tata Motors will go all EV in next 10 years. So if you are bullish on EV, you invest in Tata Motors for next 10 years.
Prajal, you're wrong here. I hate to tell you, you're completely wrong. I have a cousin working in Tata Motors. Every 3 days, this is not insider information, this is relative information. I get relative information from him about Tata Motors. But so what you say is 3 years is less than 3 years, you don't even consider as a concept.
Absolutely.
So how do I make money in 2020-21? I'm talking about normal kharch, okay? Just for people who are just using their money to make money, when there's no income coming in from other sources, active sources. How do you make money in that year? Forget the fact that 5 saal ke liye maine lock kiya paisa.
Sure.
What do I do in 2020-21 to get some money in?
Right. So you look for alternate sources, and those alternate sources are not stock market. So stock market, yes, a lot of people made money last year. They got lucky, but basically stock market is not a source of active income. It's a source of passive wealth creation. That is what it is.
So what? Give me another example, na sir. मैं क्या करूँ अभी? Wife के पास थोड़ा पैसा आ गया. She's been modeling for some very very old brand. So how do we just give me an example of short term? Is there any way I can make money outside stocks? I'm telling you why, because a lot of people have asked this question. I think nobody's giving a mostly roundabout answer. See, we understand long play to hai. We understand ki patience ki baat hai. It's a long innings, a test match. Let's use cricket analogy. After the epidemic, it's become a test match. Not last Ahmedabad test, but the earlier ones. Mm-hmm. But how do we make money grow initially, quickly, when we need that money to live? Because we're not earning income. Like say Silvery, who was working as a marketing head of, I think Jardine Fleming, one of these big companies, and now he's started doing a podcast. So how do we make money?
This sounds very brutal, but to think of it logically, see, if there was a way through the stock market to compound your money quickly in the short run, Mukesh Ambani would not be laying down fiber cables since last 8 years with a capital expenditure of 2 lakh crores.
वो खुद नहीं करता है. I've never seen him.
The money is his. So he wouldn't be spending 2 lakh crores. Laying down fiber cables. Ratan Tata wouldn't be doing all kinds of businesses. The fact is, if there was a way to make money in short run in the stock market, no one would be doing anything else. And these people are the best. I mean, they can recruit the best talent, they can use the best software and just compound money every day from the stock market. The fact that they don't do it is a proof that this can't be done.
Okay, so what you're telling me is there's no quick buck. The quick buck concept, American concept, I think, Western concept about quick and short. You're saying don't even think about it that way.
Right. For me, it does not exist. Sure.
So basically, I have to starve. I have to wait 5 years to earn money. So they have locked everything. Mutual fund. My father's generation loves mutual funds. I'm stuck with lots of mutual funds without 5-6% over 30 years. I really don't know what it means after some time, honestly.
Looks like you invested in a lot of PSU mutual funds.
I didn't invest. My father invested. Now it's too late to uninvest because we can't disinvest it really.
Right.
But let me quickly now get to the other topic, which is your book. You are the author of an Amazon bestseller, Investonomy.
Right.
It is not a disease. It's an actual topic. The stock market guide that makes you rich, and founder and CEO of Phenology. But bro, you just said that stock market is long play only.
Sure.
So what do you mean by the stock market guide that makes you rich? Because when will I get rich?
Yeah, so that is the reason it never says that a stock market guide that makes you rich in 5 years. When I say rich, it makes you rich in 20 years. So 2 decades I'm talking about there.
Oh God. I'll be in a wheelchair, yaar. Main kya karega, yaar? Oh God, I hope my digestion is okay to enjoy good Chinese food if India-China is still good at that point. So sorry, I interrupted you. So you're saying the stock market guide that makes you rich, it's like a career plan. I'm trying to understand this in short because it's a short podcast. Is that what you're saying? It's like a career plan on how to make money, not a daily plan on how to make money.
Absolutely. It's a very So so there was this survey conducted in the States which stated that when you retire, out of your total wealth, 40% depends on how intelligently you invest. So when you retire, whatever corpus you have, 40% is a result of passive income. And all our lives, we focus on getting better with our active income, while 40% will come from passive income. So these two books focus on how can you leverage those compounding effects and maximize your wealth through passive income. So
okay, so just to understand now that dowry, thank God, has been cancelled and that third income option for me on fully, we are focusing only on how to make money as a career move, and 40% of it will come from the money that you invest in to make more money. Right?
Right, that's right.
You're talking to a 5-year-old guy, so just please be patient. I think I've noticed this. Maybe Pranjal, you can throw some light on this. Ki Indian culture, mein, when it comes to doctors and financial analysts, you always get consulted wherever you go, free. Is it not true? Someone will say, "Oh, Acha Pranjal, you wrote that book. Acha, can you tell me which stock is going up? What should I put money in? Mid cap, low cap, high cap, your cap?"
So you think
it's a
that
bit of an issue, isn't it?
Sure. So you think that you're getting popular, but the truth is that you are losing friends and relatives because they keep asking you queries that, "Yaar, is hafte koi acha stock batana," and then you don't have. I mean, I have say 3 or 4 stocks in an year, 3 or 4 good ideas in a year, but they expect that you have a team. You do stock market every day. I can have 4 or 5 ideas in a week. What are you doing with your team? And when you repeatedly tell them, "I don't have an idea," they literally feel that सारा पैसा इसी को कमाना है, ये मेरे को कुछ देना नहीं चाहता. So yes, you lose a lot of relations.
वो एक बात है, reverse भी true है ना. In case it doesn't come correct, the somewhat advice that they've taken from you, then there's that खुन्नस also कि you screwed it up for them.
Sure, तब तो like it's like they complain to the parents, and what happens? They want quick money, so you give them a tip and you tell them that it's very risky. Only invest maximum 1 or 2% of your capital. But then they invest 20% of their capital. And if it doesn't work, they come to you and say कि मेरा तो जिंदगी बर्बाद कर दी, सारी मेरी कमाई चली गई. And then, of course, I mean, it goes to parents and grandparents. So yeah,
सारी कमाई चली गई is a bit too much, yaar. It's like on one tip, the guy's booked the house, the yacht, the bungalow, and his father's income. That's a bit too much. But let's understand, Pranjal, a little bit about you. You're only 27 years old. At 27, I don't even think I had a job and I was getting pocket money from my father. But you've already written a couple of books. You've got 2 million plus subscribers. You're already a household name in the finance world. So how did Pranjal, I mean, I know how Kunal Kamra went that way because he worked in MTV. But how in such a short span of time, where did you come from? Give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I was born and brought up in Raipur, did my education in Raipur. So basically, I was a pathetic student.
Where the Legends cricket match is going to start on March 3rd, right?
Yes.
Please, I'll get you free tickets. I was the anchor last time. For some reason, they haven't used me. I think my age is above the veteran also at the moment. So you're a Chhattisgarh boy.
Yeah, so born here, did all my schooling here. Then I was a pathetic student. The only thing I was good at, my parents thought I was good at was public speaking. I won a couple of debates and my mother is a double PhD in English. So for her, a person is capable or not capable depends on how many debates he or she can win and how good he or she is with public speaking. So I was high on her ranking on that parameter. So, no one in my family is from a law background. So they thought because I could speak well, I could be a good lawyer. They have no idea what a lawyer's job is. So they thought I should appear for CLAT, which is Common Law Admission Test, and do LLB from a National Law University. So I gave the exam. Luckily, I got selected. And first day of law school, orientation happens. And I realized, I'm at the wrong place because the lawyer's job is 95% paperwork and maybe 5% arguing in the court. And I thought it's 100% arguing in the court. So I don't want to do this. So, someone who's not interested in studies is interested in everything else. So when I was in my second year, Anna Andolan happened. And I thought my grandfather fought in the, freedom movement. My father was in the JP Narayan movement. This is my time to, make this country corruption free. And I skipped my exams. I had that entire year, I skipped all my classes, all my exams. And I was at the Dharna Sthal leading the Chhattisgarh contingent of India Against Corruption. And, the next day we were supposed to start Jail Bharo Andolan. And I had just turned 18, so I was eligible to go to jail. So I had my end sems going and I did not appear because I thought, kal wale to exam de nahi paunga, kal se to jail. So I skipped my exam and in the evening we get a call that Andolan mein ab split aa gaya hai, sthagit ho gaya hai. Arvind Kejriwal is making AAP and Anna Hazare is going alone. And, at that moment, I realized what, followers of Gandhiji would have felt when he suddenly called off the Quit India movement. People had, burned their clothes, books. I had nowhere to go. So then I decided, अब कुछ भी करना है, ये सब social movement, politics, ये सब नहीं करना है. I'll figure something out. So in my third year, I was watching this television program on Zee Business, and I liked the idea of stocks through that program. That person was in a getup of a don, and it was a caller's program. People would call and ask for stocks. And if that stock was not good about which the caller was asking, he would get really angry. And that set had a punching bag. He would punch, he would throw the telephone. So as a beginner, it got me hooked. There were no jargons at all. And I thought, this I want to do. So I asked my father for money. He gave me 20,000 with a condition that if you lose, you get back to studying law. He was sure I was going to lose it. And the first couple of stocks that I bought, one was TVS Motors, because my father had gifted me
TVS Motors then?
Because my father had gifted me a scooter a few months ago. It was TVS Vego, so I graduated from a bicycle to a scooter, so was in love with it. Now, beginner's luck, in a year, that stock goes up 8-9 times. So my 4,000 became 35,000, and I thought, मैं ही हूँ भगवान, I know it all. So the next few stocks I pick out of sheer overconfidence. I did not know any analysis. All go bankrupt, and I'm almost out of capital. So that is when I realized ऐसे नहीं चलेगा, पढ़ना पड़ेगा. By the time I'm in my 4th year of law school, just 1 year remaining of law school, I don't know what to do. So I start Googling how to pick good stocks, come across talks and letters by Warren Buffett, start reading it. And I really, I think a lot that I've learned is one, just watching Rahul Dravid play test cricket. So I really like the examples that you give of test cricket, because I think just watching Rahul Dravid play test cricket can teach you a lot about life. So that's one. And second, reading about Warren Buffett, I think it gives you all life lessons that you need. And then I decided that I'll do my PG in stock market. So there's this institute called National Institute of Securities Market. It's ran by the market regulator, SEBI. I appeared for their interview, got selected, did 1 year post-graduation in stock market from there. Now there I had a roommate who had worked in the finance industry, and every night, we were best friends, every night he would tell me stories about कैसे उसको बेवकूफ बना के उससे हमने एडवाइजरी फी ले ली, कैसे उसको इंश्योरेंस चिपकाया and things like that. So, he fills me with this fear that as soon as placement comes, in a few months, I'll be doing the same thing. And I did not want to do that at all. So the only option left was, I'm not taking a job and I will do something of my own. I was 24, had no money. And because I had not taken placement, NLU, I was not eligible for placement. NISM, I did not take. My mother was furious. So, she would say कि तू तो रिक्शा ही चलाएगा, but then she would say तू तो वो भी नहीं चला पाएगा, उसमें तो मेहनत लगती है ना, तेरे से तो मेहनत होती नहीं. So that is
एक इन्वेस्टमेंट भी होता है रिक्शा के लिए.
हाँ, तो वो तो हो नहीं पाएगा. तो फ्री में क्या हो सकता है? फ्री में एक YouTube चैनल शुरू हो सकता है और फ्री में एक ब्लॉग शुरू हो सकता है. So blogging I had done during India Against Corruption times did not work. So I thought blogging nahi, I want the look more professional. So I have a website. So I learned a bit of coding and used a semi-coding drag and drop platform, created a website, created a course with everything that I had learned in NISM, and started a YouTube channel. So for 6-8 months, this was 2017, nothing worked. I had made 60 videos. I had a phone worth 10,000 rupees. And there was only one room in my house wherein sunlight used to come. And I made videos between 2 to 4 in the afternoon, because by then all phal wala, sabji wala has gone away and no one will shout between my videos. So I started in April 2017, and I would switch off the AC and the fan, and I would record for 30 seconds, wipe off my sweat, then begin again, because if AC or phone is or fan is on, the audio will not be nice. So I remember in October or November, there's this movie called Secret Superstar that launched on theaters, and I was watching this movie, and she used to create videos exactly like I did, chair, on the chair, book, and then a phone in a certain angle. And her first video goes viral. And I found tears in my eyes कि यार मैंने 60 videos बना लिए, I think मैं अच्छा बना रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ क्यों नहीं होता, कुछ भी दिखाते हैं. And I walked out of the multiplex. I was devastated. But then, I think those were 60 failures. I was learning with every video, because a video is not just about good content. It's about good presentation, thumbnail, SEO and whatnot. So I was learning. And in Feb 2018, my first video goes viral. And then it's been good so far.
Pranjal, You have done a 7-minute monologue. First, God bless you. I had to keep quiet to listen. Yeah, you've broken all the world records on our podcast. But let's review the entire monologue. First, you were part of this, what was it? Anti-corruption Andolan thing that happened way back when. And when they split, did you decide that you'll favor Kejriwal over Hazare or vice versa?
I was too devastated to take a decision.
It's like parents divorcing or something. You were upset.
Right. I was done with it.
Hey, I think Cyrus got stuck. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, no worries. We can to fill in till Cyrus joins again. We can ask some interesting AMAs that we've been getting from the chat for you, man. From Kashin Shetty, he says, "Hi Pranjal. Do you think the reason for most people being bad with business knowledge and numbers is because of the terrible examples given to us in school? Examples like Suresh has 20 coconuts, ... like one of those. Why do you think people are not great at personal finance knowledge is what he's trying to ask.
I can talk about myself, and I think it's true for a lot of people, is that we think finance is a mix of mathematics and accounts. And, there are hardly any individual who likes both of these subjects. You might like mathematics, you might like accounts, but both very, very rare combination. And people think it's a combination of these two things. Whereas in reality, finance is about, if you know mathematics of class 5th, 10-year-old mathematics, which we all know, that's what personal finance and stock market investing is. That's how easy it is. So I think if we just knew that all we need is a knowledge and an IQ of a 10-year-old, we all can do it very, very easily. I think most people will do very, very well. We are afraid of it.
Cool. The next one comes in from Karan M. Karan says, is there a right age to start investing in stocks and mutual funds? Also, what is a good resource to learn about such investments? You can go to Pranjal's YouTube channel. That'll definitely be a help.
Yes. Right. So the right age is as soon as you can, because, if Warren Buffett right now is one of the richest persons on earth, it's not because he is the most brilliant stock picker on the universe. He picks the best stock, but because he started at 11 and now he's 90. So basically, he gave his money 70, 80 years of time to be able to multiply. So it's about giving yourself more time. Even if even if someone is earning 20% a year from stocks and you earn 18% or 15%, if you give yourself 5 years extra, you will be ahead of that person. So it's about giving more time, and thereby it's important that you start as early as possible. Having said that, it's also important that you don't invest everything that you have. Only invest that's what's surplus or what you could afford to lose.
Exactly. I was going to get to that. Like, what do you think for a beginner would be like a good amount, which is safe also? Say, what is like 20K, 50K? What do you think should be the thing?
I guess Cyrus sir is back. He's waving.
Can you hear me now?
Just one question. Sorry. If I could finish this before.
Finish.
What do you think is a good amount to start investing with?
A simple thumb rule is whatever you can afford to lose. As a beginner, you're prone to do mistakes, and especially youngsters, they are attracted by risk. They like these micro caps. They like these potential future multi-baggers. So you're bound to do mistakes. So there's this common saying that in the beginning, if you have not lost money in the stock market, either you are God or you are lying. So you're bound to lose money. So it's important that, you think what is pocket change for you. It could be 100, 500, 1,000, but only invest that.
Cool. Can I have a follow-up question because I have a lot of, I've worked a lot in the financial line for many years. What is wrong with insider trading and getting information from companies? I don't understand what is wrong with that.
So basically, what could happen is that insider trading leads to pump and dump. So, that there's this news coming up, which will lead to crash in the stock price. For example, a bad news is coming. But then before that news comes out, you start buying a lot and you are a big player. There is this squeeze in supply. There's suddenly a supply gap, which leads to upper circuits in the stock. And then just before the due date of the news announcement is there, you start dumping a couple of days ago. And, as soon as the news comes, the stock is in lower circuit. So basically you pumped it, you dumped it to retailers, and then they suffer. So to avoid that...
Pumped and dumped. See, we're learning something new every day. All right. I think we will take a quick break here. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi issue happened, but please remember it's because I was trying to get Wi-Fi at a very low discount here in a village outside Alibag. and it's completely my fault. I accept it. Pranjal and Silveri are doing a stellar job. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back in a few, and now it'll be full AMA. Because lots of people want to ask questions about finance. And pressure ki baat hai, bhai. Mr. Rahul Dravid, I know you're setting yourself up for a long inning, but everybody thinks that by listening to you, within a few minutes, their world is going to change. Okay, we'll take a break.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank the sponsors on our network this week, Seat Tires. So we had a fantastic week. Tune into This Round is on Me, where Gauri Devidayal has a chat with Divya Ravichandran on the issues of waste management in India and how recycling, composting, and using eco-friendly alternatives can help. On Filter Coffee Podcast, Karthik speaks with Lux Narayan about his book Name, Place, Animal, Thing, an inspiring non-fiction fable about hope, positivity, and living your best life. On All Things Policy, Anirudh Kanisetti talks to Prateek Wakre and Rohan Sheth about Australia's conflict with Facebook and Google and what this means for big tech companies and the news ecosystem. On the Simplified Podcast, Naren and Tony talk about greenwashing, which is businesses unfairly marketing themselves as eco-friendly just to ride the sustainability wave. You should also check out the Cyrus Says episode with Varun Deshpande of the Good Food Institute, where they talk about plant-based alternatives. Varun does a great show with us called Feeding 10 Billion. Do check out this episode of Cyrus Says. They have a really interesting conversation. On the Millennial Athlete, Tanvi and Shlok speak to the badminton doubles player Satvik Sairaj about his successful stints at some of the recently concluded games. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
And we're back. Pranjal, thank you so much for... I like your background, which has 200 books. My background has staircase, if you can see. Going nowhere. It's a metaphor for my life. And Silveri, you're there?
Yes.
You know, just here, the empty space that you see, we have a dustbin here. So before every video call, I remove the dustbin, place it somewhere else, and then it becomes suitable. So yeah, a lot of dressing.
Yeah, I like a dustbin in the background. You can use it so easily. Especially when you get a rubbish question like from someone like me, like the one on investor trading, insider trading. You could have straight away pointed into the bin with you. But we've got some serious questions with people who are, Pranjal, I'm not putting pressure on you, but a lot of people are hoping that their world will change with a few minutes of interaction.
That's actually a very good point. Pranjal, before we get to the AMAs, I would like to ask, do you get this often? Do people talk to you thinking, okay, my life will change now. After talking to you, after talking to Pranjal, my life is going to change. Do you get that often?
Sure, happens sometimes because, they think that because our team is analyzing stocks day in, day out, it's not possible that we don't have certain stocks which will go, up 10x overnight. I mean, it's really not possible for them to believe us when we say that we don't have any such magic mind. So, yeah.
He said earlier, actually answered this. And the real funny part is the human nature aspect here, where people think he's purposely not telling them. Keeping the good stocks for himself. Which now, at first I was laughing about it. Now I'm thinking that makes sense. Why would I, if I'm a financial whiz, want to share it with you? I try to accumulate my wealth. Of course, they're making money. If you're on a commission with them, is another story. But now I'm having my doubts. Slight doubt.
And so to clear this doubt, I also say that if I had such stocks, I wouldn't be writing books and, I wouldn't be running Phenology and running a team and being an entrepreneur and doing, spending sleepless nights.
Yes, sir, majburi ki baat hai. You're forced to write books to pay bills.
I mean, it's a mix of both, to be honest. I mean, I love it. And yes, it's a mean to, earn some extra. Yeah.
So sorry. So it's like getting a fat instructor for fitness or something, I mean, everybody must be thinking if the financial guy is not rich, then deep down, why am I talking to him? That does make sense. Now, Pranjal, you open it, please answer the question.
So to answer that, why is Warren Buffett rich? He's rich because he invested for 80 years. I've been investing since 5 years. I mean, and I have capital since last 2 years. I mean, before that, I was fresh out of college with no capital. And if I claim that I became rich with 2 years of my capital and I multiplied it so much, it's then that you should doubt me.
Right. Okay. So one thing is that your philosophy has been clear from the beginning. It's all about long play. There's no point trying to make any shortcuts. Shortcuts don't work. But we are Indians. Without shortcuts, we can't think. I've never taken a long road anywhere. Have you, Silveri? You're always looking for the way out.
Yeah, always looking for a shortcut. Let's get to the AMAs. The first one comes in from Sushant Pawar. He says, very simple. He says, what are the basic 3 steps for a beginner in personal finance? apart from say emergency funds, insurance, and Mediclaim.
One second, before you answer that, if he's from Pawar family, why does he need financial advice?
I know, right? Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, yaar. It's like Dravid calling him up and saying, "Teach me batting." Go ahead, sir. This is a tough
Three
question.
basics,
When
yeah.
people put 3 basics,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what does that mean also?
Yeah.
आप खुद नहीं बोल सकते, sir.
So the great thing is, first 3 steps, he has sorted emergency, Mediclaim, life. Those are the first 3 steps. So, great job there. The next very obvious thing, and I think this is one financial instrument in which this is one instrument in which you can literally invest blindly, is sovereign gold bonds. Here is an instrument that gives you return that matches gold, has no deductions, no expense, no management charge, nothing. On top of it, whatever you invest every year, you get 2.5% of interest by the government. So whatever the return that gold offers, you get 2.5% additional, which makes it a brilliant, brilliant investment. So not 3, I would just say take this one step. Please don't avoid sovereign gold bond. It's a blind investment decision.
No, gold is gold. I'm just trying to make it easy for my mind to understand. But so instead of 3 steps, you can take gold 3 times. Invest in gold.
Yeah, even that.
But didn't gold go down also? Didn't gold actually go down this year?
Sure. I mean, see, gold has volatility as well. I mean, all except FDs, almost all instruments have volatility. But again, in the longer run. So no matter which steps I'm talking about, I'm always talking in the longer run. And here's the icing on the cake. You get returns what a savings account is offering. Savings account these days offer 2.5%, 3%. So that's fixed. And then if gold appreciates, that's bonus. And historically, gold has given a return of 9% CAGR per year. And on top of that, 2.5%. So that 12%, that's very good.
Coming back to savings account, is 2.5%. What do we do with that? 2.5. Can't we increase that slightly? Will we ever live in a world where the basic, return you're getting will be in double figures for most stuff?
So while it cannot be in double figures, but yes, there's one thing that every one of us can do in our current accounts and savings account. Most people I see have made peace with the fact that current account gives you nothing, no return. But the fact is, most banks offers auto sweep in current accounts and savings accounts. What that means is, whatever your balance is in current account and savings account, you get interest equivalent to an FD while retaining the flexibility that current account or savings account offers. So you just go to your bank and tell them, I know that auto sweep exists. I know you were never going to tell it to me, but I know it. Just activate it.
My bank is called Bank of Brocha. I have to ask her for anything. And there's no return. Firstly, there's no answer given also. My bank is not fun here. It's not a yes bank. Mine is a no bank. Sarji, kya hai? Next question.
All right. So since you're talking about gold, what has been in the news recently has been Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, which has been like gold, its value has been rising quite a lot. So Pratyush Ojha asks, what are your views on the ban of selected cryptocurrencies, and how will that affect? And is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
Right. So, personally speaking, and in general in investing, this is very true that know your limitations. So I know my limitations. I don't understand blockchain. I don't understand cryptocurrency. And I don't want to invest in an asset class that's very new, that's not been historically proven. And what's the underlying value of cryptocurrency? It's very hard to determine. For a stock, that if a company is earning 1,000 rupees and profit per share is 10 rupees, I can buy that stock for 50 rupees or 100 rupees because that pays me 10 rupees per year as dividend or whatever. But if I buy Bitcoin for $50,000, what am I getting actually? What is the underlying value? So for me right now, it's speculation. Having said that, I know very little about it. And for that reason, I'm
out. Also, we have to look at the politics of the world, yeah. And I think a lot of countries are not pro this cryptocurrency. So a lot of governments will not be supportive. So they can just pull it out, in terms of that suddenly we may have no value, in a global world. That's a big fear, and yet people are investing.
Right. So it's fear of missing out. I mean, they just see short-term trends. It went up 5 times in these many months. It could go up 5 times more and things like that. In fact, RBI governor just yesterday did a press conference wherein he's saying that RBI's own digital currency is in progress and will be out in a few months. So yeah, I mean, a lot of uncertainties around it.
So India has become China. We duplicate everything even faster now. Fabulous.
Yeah. So the Bitcoin has been one financial trend. Another financial trend in the beginning of this year was the GameStop thing. Were you following that, and what were your views on that? Like, what do you think of? Was that was it good for the little man to be sticking it to the big companies like that, big hedge funds like that?
And no legal action was taken in the end, right?
Yeah,
it was not outside the legal perimeters of trading.
Yeah.
Right. So basically what happened was a short squeeze. So before understanding short squeeze, let's understand what short selling is. So basically short selling is you sell something that you don't own. You think that this stock is worth 100 rupees today. In the next couple of days, it will be worth 80 for whatever reason. So I might sell it today and get 100 rupees and buy it back 2 days after at 80 rupees and I make a 20 rupee profit. This is why people do short selling. Now, the problem with short selling is, say, if you buy a stock long, normally you buy a stock which is worth 100 rupees. Now, the maximum loss that you can incur is 100 rupees because the stock that you bought at 100 goes to 0. But if you're doing short selling, a stock can rise to infinity. 100 rupee stock can rise to 1,000. So, you invested 100 rupees through short selling, that stock goes up to 1,000. Now you have to pay 900 to the, buyer, seller, broker, from whoever you bought. So your loss is potentially unlimited in short selling. This is one simple reason why you shouldn't do short selling.
Okay. I thought short selling and what is short squeeze? Short squeeze is what happens to you in the Delhi Gurgaon metros, if you're not careful. And short selling and with short squeeze, I thought is Mumbai. Where after the squeeze, they talk business. So that's the only difference.
So short squeeze is basically, so in short selling, I told you that you sell a stock today at 100 and 2 days afterwards, you plan to buy it back. But what happens if after 2 days, there are no sellers? There's no one selling you that stock. You can't buy it back. So then, if you can't buy it back, even though the stock is at 80, it's your legal obligation to buy it back because you have sold it and you did not own it. Now, you will be willing to pay 85 rupees. Even then, there are no sellers. You will be willing to pay 100, 120. You want it, or you will pay hefty penalties. So this is short squeeze, wherein you want to buy the stock, but there are no sellers.
But Pranjal, America, in India, has this happened?
I'm not aware. I've not heard of this. In India, not heard of this.
Silvery.
Next AMA comes in from Neil. He says, since a large percentage of our population still use traditional instruments like FDs, PPF, etc., and are dissuaded from options like stock market, mutual funds, owing to their complexities, what do you think they can do to actually grow their wealth, given the government is actively harming their potential by decreasing repo rates? Also, do you think this segment can be actually made to learn about stocks, mutual funds, etc.? So how do you think people can be made to learn about stocks and mutual funds in a more easier way?
This question is from Kunal Kamra to Pranjal Kamra. I'm telling you, it makes sense. Pranjal.
Yep.
Right. So, so Indians traditionally invested in gold, in real estate, and then the safer ones invested in fixed deposits and things like that. But even historically, fixed deposit was never viewed as an instrument that could defeat inflation. When FD paid you 10%, we had inflation of 8-9%. So FD is not meant, because you're not taking any risk, because you want guaranteed return. Why should anyone reward you, right? Why should anyone make you richer? You only become rich if you take risk, basically, in a nutshell. So FD, no matter what the interest rates are, it's not meant to make you rich. The only thing I see happening is, instead of entire focus on real estate, because real estate have not given good returns in the past 6, 7, 8 years, people are getting more and more interested in these mutual funds and stock market. Also, investing in these instruments have become a lot more easier. So if you don't know anything, if you don't want to spend time in selecting mutual funds or stocks, keep it very, very simple. Invest in an index fund. So basically what an index fund is, it tracks a basket of top 500 or 100 companies in India. And then whatever their average return is of those 50 companies, you get that return. So basically stock picking skills you don't require. If you think in the long run, Indian companies will do well, you should be investing in an index fund and make it as simple as that.
All right. Invest in an index fund. Okay, got it. Okay, we'll take a one question break from financial questions, and because this one comes from for Cyrus. This is from Mittu Chaudhary. He says, need advice from Cyrus. My boss has asked me to start making plans for coming back to Bombay, but I am too used to home life and without the hassle of Bombay traffic. What do I do?
What is the problem? There's so many excuses out there, yaar. He just has to get a fake corona certificate, COVID certificate. It's so easily available. You do cut paste and all on anybody's old certificate. People have shown me how to do it. We have the creativity and infrastructure to do it. Not work for nothing. I think he should completely. His wife could be pregnant. His dad could have an illness. He could have injured his hip and can't be transported anywhere. he could be, not just COVID positive, but he could be helping us. He could be a COVID warrior and saying his work is essential for the state. I don't see what the big problem is. Right now, you're getting away with working from home. You might as well milk that as much as you can. Because coming to office, honestly, is not making that much of a difference when 50% cannot come. Your clients cannot come. Other people are not having meetings. So you'll come in office and do saaf safai, which is great, but they'll not pay you for that. So you have to think about it. Pranjal, what do you think? This has changed the world completely now. I mean, how much flesh and blood meat?
I'm just hoping that my employees don't listen to your advice. So that was what I was hoping for. I want them at office.
How many employees do you have? How many total capacity kya hai?
45.
45. So what do you think? To get 45 back, it will take at least another year. All 45.
No, all 45 are back.
They're back?
Yeah.
Wow, boss, either you are a great boss or you are one real Hitler. So obviously it's one or the other. Silly, I'm not sure what it is. But maybe withholding salaries for 3 months. Let's know from employer's point of view how they control people. Yeah. We've seen from employee point of view. So how do you dangle the carrot or the stick?
I think they're having great fun. I think during work from home, all of them were urging, when are we opening office? Because, all of us are from the same age group. We have a lot of fun here. It's very light. We don't have any targets, no sales pressure, nothing. So I think everyone enjoys it.
Wow, you sound like MTV. What are you working on, roadies? No targets, nothing, yaar. Bike chala de. Excellent.
Nice. All right. Next one comes in from Shruti S. She asks, is there a way to predict which companies are prone to scams/security crimes? I lost some money when I invested in Dewan Housing Finance.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I mean, again, because investing is an art and not a science, there is not a short way to do it. But yes, there are certain clues that you can take. One very obvious clue that I look for is if the promoter or the management of the CEO, MD of a company likes, so this is a very personal observation. If the MD of the company likes these full page photo shoots on the annual report, if you see that there are lots of colorful pages in an annual report wherein he's dressed in different expensive suits. And instead of focusing on how the company is working for the shareholders, he is more interested in, showing off his wardrobe. That's a really bad sign. Look at a company called Treehouse. It did really, really bad. And it had about 50 pages. So that was a company that ran play schools. And that had 20 pages of colorful children and then colorful rides for them, classrooms and things like that. Whereas, look in an annual report of a company like Goodyear, a global leader in tire, they don't have one single colorful page because, you don't want sending out free 200 pages booklets to thousands of people. That's a sheer wastage.
Also, tires are black and white. So, you don't really have to show anything.
So Page Industries, Page Industries could show a lot of things, but even theirs is completely, so Jockey, Page Industries makes Jockey, but completely black
Jockey and white. Underwear?
Yeah. So that, theirs could be really colorful. Theirs could be the most colorful annual report.
Good point to segue. What are you wearing, Silvery? You wear Jockey?
Jockey, yes.
You're Jockey?
I wear Jockey.
What about you, Pranjal?
Actually, I did not notice, so I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, that's a lie. You know
I'm going to put my money. You're talking about color and black and white. Yeah, I'm going to give you lots of money to invest for me. You don't know you're wearing underwear. Fabulous. So what you're saying is Vijay Mallya versus Ratan Tata, basically. The flamboyant, colorful guy who's out there, but not necessarily, there's no depth in the performance, but there is definitely Shosha. And the Ratan Tata, so you don't see, but the performance will be there year after year.
So that's just one. There's one more that, how many related party transactions they are doing. So basically related party transactions are wherein company A is a listed company that came with an IPO, took money from the public and then lent that money to another company which is owned by or ran by his son or relative. So taking public money and passing it on to someone else. So that's a really bad sign.
This sounds very desi to me. This is a very Indian scam. I think we have a patent on it. It will be some Mr. Sharma who started it, and then his grandson and everyone else who has benefited from it. Yeah, good point. Right. Good point. I want to ask one. Can I ask one financial question? Who do you think is better looking, Arvind Kejriwal or Anna Hazare? If you had to choose them in a male model Mr. Grasim India final, who would be the winner?
I've not seen how Anna Hazare looked at 40 or 50. So yeah, right now it's Arvind Kejriwal.
Yes, sahi jawab. I'm also a Kejriwal fan. Yeah.
Oh, it should have been. I've not seen how Anna Hazare looked at 40 or 50. So right now, Anna Hazare.
Okay, let's apologize to both the icons. It's just a little fun.
Okay.
They will happily invest their money. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Okay,
one more? Yeah, we can.
Yeah, one more. This one is straight up just advice, like on investment. He says, Mittu Chaudhary asks, question for Pranjal. I invariably end up picking big cap stocks when I'm investing just to be safe, making me feel like I'm losing out on the opportunity to get more ROI by investing on small mid caps. So is that a flawed strategy?
See, ultimately, I don't see companies as mid caps, small caps, or large caps. I see companies as whether I understand this business or I don't understand that business. See, so there's one stock of mine called Wonderla Holidays, has done nothing for the last 2 years for me. It's a 1,000 crore market cap company, so a small cap basically, but I understand that business. I went to Hyderabad, saw their amusement park, liked the experience. So because I understand the business, I see where they're taking it. It's it's comparatively less risky for me as compared to, say, a Reliance Industry, which has petrochemicals, textile, digital, telecom, all in one company. And I don't understand all aspects of that business. So what's important is invest in companies that you totally understand and you think you could be the CEO next day and run it as well as the current CEO is running it. If you have that confidence, buy that stock.
Silvery, I don't know if Pornhub is listed, huh? You just do your research before you just say, call up your parents and say,
for sure.
Figure out my future. Just be patient.
If Pornhub will have great ROI, no?
Yeah, I think so.
it must. All right.
Pranjal, I'm sorry you're talking to two juveniles. From time to time, your intellectual capacity
like that, and nothing like that.
Then we bring it down, and I apologize for that. But in a way, it's good for you, It's a little bit of blood rush. Yeah, one more, Silvery.
Okay, this one comes up from Mahindra. He's saying, by reducing interest rates on SB and FDs, is the government punishing those not willing to take a risk?
I like this question.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know the answer because, we at Philology, we don't track the economic aspects or the debt side or the interest rate movement. We focus on just picking quality stocks. So actually, if you ask me any question around debt side or how interest rate cycle moves, I'm a complete zero at it. I don't know any of it.
Okay, fair. Then I'll just ask another one. Sorry. Okay, I don't know if you're aware of this. Views on the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. He already knows that Tata shares are going to grow. Are you aware of this?
So yeah, he does not know that Tata shares are going to grow.
He's presuming.
He's confident about it. He's betting on it. So yeah, he's not sure about it.
No, so what are you trying to say? That it's illegal that he has information? Silvery?
That's what it seems like, no? Whenever people say something so short-shortedly.
You're insinuating.
Yeah.
His confidence can lead to us assuming that he knows it, but I just think it's his experience and confidence speaking.
Okay, okay. One last great one.
He'll also be a good sponsor for the podcast, so please say nice things about him.
Yes, correct.
Lovely
man.
True.
Yeah. Okay, this is a great one. Comes in from Sonak Biswas. He says, question for Pranjal. Is it possible to invest in options, call and put on New York Stock Exchange from India while using INR and convert it into USD somehow?
Wow. So
Ouch.
so Warren Buffett says that futures and options are weapons of mass destruction, more dangerous than nuclear weapons. And I feel the same. I have never for once placed an intraday order in my life or an F&O order in my life. So I don't know how it's done in India. Forget how it's done in US. And I think they are just really, really risky. And most people don't understand the risk. They just see the potential upside, but they are blindsided to the potential risk they are taking. So yeah. So F&O, we must realize, is meant for hedging. If you are by virtue of your business model, say most IT companies, they are exposed to dollar price risk, regardless of they wanting to take that risk or not. So to reduce that risk, so that dollar price appreciation or depreciation does not, increase or decrease their profit, they take a derivative bet against it, and they, kind of protect themselves from dollar price movement. So F&O instruments were originally meant for hedging and not speculation. So to speculate on it, I think it's very dangerous.
Can I speculate on one last question from there? If you had to choose, Pranjal, if you had to choose between saving the life of Warren Buffett, Anna Hazare and Kejriwal ji, who would you choose and why?
Oh, God.
They were hanging from a cliff. You can only save one. There's only time to save one. You save one. Whose hand will you catch? And
I think it'll be the person who Pranjal has learned from the most. So,
Anna Hazare.
I'm thinking from it from a different angle, that who has given his most already in the past and who can create a bigger impact in the future. So to think it from that perspective, so Warren Buffett already says that he has a succession plan in place, and whatever he had to give to the world, he had given, and now it's time to transition. From that perspective, I don't know, from good or bad, Arvind Kejriwal has the most to give to the country, for good or bad. So yeah,
Wow, what a smart decision. He's relocating to Delhi, obviously. There must be some inside information we haven't yet got. But if you had said Warren Buffett, I was going to shout Deshdrohi. Yeah, camera, sab same hai. Sab same hai, bhai. Damn it, he went for Kejriwal. He played me like Dravid. Got behind the ball, got inside the line and played it beautifully. All right, Pranjal, it's been great talking to you. And I don't know what I learned, but I think some of the guys have picked up something. But I like the fact that you're not promising anything and you're saying just play long, because people don't say that. They keep saying, yeah, try this, try that. When we talk to financial analysts and we come back always with less information or less knowledge than we had when we entered the room. Yeah. So thank you.
Really enjoyed it, sir. Had a really great time. Thank you.
All right. You can put the dustbin back. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. That's the first thing I'll do.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In, or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
From uncensored and unfiltered chats with the who's who of the entertainment industry, I, Siddharth Kannan, bring your very heartcake chat show called Candid Kannan. Tune in every Friday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Come learn and experience the ABCDs of being queer with me, Shunetro,
and me, Farhad,
on our show, Gay BCD.
The two of us take you through our stories and experiences of being gay men in the city of Mumbai and have candid
and sometimes downright scandalous
conversations about sexuality, gay culture, and everything in between.
Catch new episodes of Gay BCD every Tuesday on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get all your podcasts from.